guys, welcome back to another Future Fight video, and for today we're going to be going into World Boss Ultimate and testing out my Doctor Strange a little bit against the newest of the World Boss Ultimate editions. So Infinity Thanos, here we come. Now I gotta say guys, he's actually really easy to beat. He's actually, in terms of difficulty, I would say he's on par with Black Dwarf. So if you can already beat Phase 1 Black Dwarf, you should have no problem beating Infinity Thanos, especially if you're using the three characters that I'm going to recommend. Number one, Jean Grey. If you have Jean Grey, obviously she's going to kill everything. This is no exception. Number two, if you have Sharon Rogers, which everyone should have Sharon Rogers, especially if you have her uniform ranked up, she's going to be the second highest DPSing character for this, actually ahead of Doctor Strange, believe it or not, and then Doctor Strange is going to be third. So the same setup, the same exact setup for all three of these characters. So you want Ancient One for the lead, Tier 2 Phil Coulson for his passive, and then you're just going to sub in Sharon Rogers or Jean Grey. That's it. Now, as for the rest of the pack, when it comes to Tier 2 natives, I know a lot of people are going to wonder, can Wolverine beat it? Can Thanos beat it? Can Dormammu beat it? I'm going to say leave all three of those characters out. They may be able to do it, but it's going to be so difficult for them, especially for someone like a Wolverine, because he deals physical damage, and Thanos, similar to Black Dwarf, has really high physical damage. Okay? On top of that, if you're not attacking this guy from the safety of damage immunity or an iframe, you're going to find that you die very, very easy, which is why I also do not recommend using Dormammu, just because he does have a couple iframes, but his iframes are not long enough where you can stay in it all the freaking time, and all it takes is literally one hit from this guy and you're pretty much dead, especially since the bonus that he has is the Blackwater characters strike for him, and they do a good bit of damage if you actually get hit. Okay, so I don't want to make this one super long, so let me go ahead and show you guys how I have my Doctor Strange built. He's actually not built as well as he was prior to this stat change, because I'm still re-optimizing and figuring out how I'm going to rebuild all 120 of my characters because of this stupid stat change, but he can still comfortably beat Thanos. So I wanted to share that with you guys, because to be honest, if you're using Doctor Strange or even Sharon Rogers, you don't need any Urus, and you probably don't even need Tier 2 Phil Coulson, and you can still beat it. Okay guys, so I have Urus. There are 2 attack Urus in every single slot and 1 crit damage Uru. So let me just, forgot that's not how you do it anymore. I'm just so used to clicking on the left side. Sorry about that guys. So yeah, same exact setup for every single gear slot. The last gear slot, every one of my characters as of right now is rolled for ignore defense. I haven't even bothered to touch it, just because it makes no sense to go through all the work of re-rolling 120 characters when I have to figure out what Urus I'm going to put on them and how I'm going to micromanage my cards now to make it so that everything goes back to what it was before. Okay, ISO said fully awakened. You probably don't even need it to be awakened, to be honest. And this one right here, the immunity to guard break is nice, but that's mainly for extreme AB. The damage proc is what you want. The lightning is not what you want. You want something like ignore dodge, or even better, ignore defense, or some crit damage. Those are the 2 most important things that you want. Uniform, normal. Okay, probably gonna stay at normal for as long as I need it to be normal, because as of right now I don't need him to beat anything that he can't beat with a normal uniform. So as you guys can see, skill cooldown is max. That's probably the most important thing here, and the ignore defense is the second most important thing. Not maxed out, but we're gonna have to figure it out even with him as is. So let's go ahead and jump into this one, man. I don't want to make it too long, and we're gonna try to get through a couple phases, hopefully phase 1 and phase 2, but let's just see how this thing goes. So as you guys can see, I already cleared phase 1 yesterday, did a couple test runs with a couple different characters. So Phil Coulson, where's my Ancient One? An Ancient One being tier 2 is actually pretty helpful, because he gives you some extra ignore dodge, and that is actually really, really useful, believe it or not. So we're going to use these 3, and let's go. summon these like freaking blue orbs to actually kill you, because they will kill you. And if you don't have max skill cooldown, or if you see that you're taking damage, which you always want to try and keep an eye on your HP, even if you can't see it on the screen, keep an eye on the freaking left so you can see your HP bar, because you don't want to get blindsided, because if you're not paying attention, you could get one-shotted by him. Because even though it looks like it's an easy fight, that's because you're in a state of damage immunity, and as soon as you're no longer in a state of damage immunity, you'll see why this is Infinity Thanos. Gonna try and tank that, but nah, I would have died if I didn't dodge a little bit. So phase 1, not the fastest third time in the world. Alright, so let's change this to phase 2, and phase 2, of course, this is what we get. We get 200 freaking black. Alright, so he's gonna get even tougher now. Great. Yeah, it looks like we're just gonna run out of time. Sad life, I need to re-optimize this guy. Yeah, so we unfortunately don't have the damage until I fix his build. Sad life, guys. Well, I originally only intended to do phase 1 anyway,
But as you guys can see, still need to work on my Doctor Strange a little bit more.